Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys a brand new series on our YouTube channel called Road to Master Rank, where I play VGC and try to get to the Masterball Tier on the ladder. This series is also going to be kind of hybridized with our Road to Regional series, but that's going to feature guests. This series is mostly going to be me just playing live on twitch.tv/aDrive with the aDrive Army, watching us. Almost 3,000 aDrive Army members here. Thank you guys for being here. And we're going to jump into this, man. I'm going to do all the ranked battles. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Maybe you'll learn something. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'm going to break down my team very quickly here, kind of give you an idea of what we're doing, and I will share QR codes or rental teams for you guys in the future, but because I'm still working on this one, I'm going to hold off on doing that just yet. And just so you guys know, I am playing the game legit. I am breeding, training, EV training, the whole deal for every one of my Pokemon. I'm actually really excited about it. So let's talk about this team. This team really centers around our Indeedee here, which is going to set up the Psychic Terrain. I don't know if I'm going to keep Focus Sash on it, but the objective is set up Psychic Terrain for Hatterene. Hatterene has Magic Bounce, so it can really protect itself, and it's got some really powerful moves like Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, and Mystical Fire, and the objective is to get Hatterene to set up Trick Room. I've also got Torkoal as a very powerful Trick Room sweeper with Eruption, which is incredibly hard in the sun. Vileplume takes advantage of the sun with its Chlorophyll ability to be a lot faster, and we actually have two modes with this team. Torkoal Vileplume functions much like Lilligant Torkoal did in 2016 and 17 with After You, so we're going to try to use that. And then I have my secondary Trick Room setter, which is Mimikyu, which I really like because it can be really offensive with Swords Dance. And then last but not least, we have Conkeldurr with Guts and Flame Orb to hit really, really hard as well. So that is going to be the team. Let's jump into ranked for the first time here in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I do want to emphasize that it's very important to note when doing ranked, especially something like this, that winning games is great, but you're going to lose some games too, and it's important to kind of think back to those losses and try to reflect on what you did wrong. I'm definitely not a pro VGC player, but I've had some success in the past, and I hope that we can kind of have some continued success here for this. And we're going to jump right into it, so let's do it. I'm going to kick things off with In the Fog music, because I just love this song, dude. I just love this song so much. Let's see what my opponent's got. We've got, we're very beginning ranked here, so let's see. My opponent has Arcanine, Whiscash. I didn't even know, oh, I did know Whiscash in the game. Arcanine, Cinderace, Whiscash, Haxorus, Roserade, and Raichu. So, the Raichu may have Fake Out. For this matchup, I definitely see Trick Room being a very viable strategy. So we're going to just kind of kick things off here with Indeedee Hatterene. And then from there, I do think that we could potentially put in some work with Torkoal. And Conk looks okay, but I actually kind of like Mimikyu in this matchup too. I think I'm going to go with Conkeldurr, but I think Mimikyu could have been good too. I'm not really seeing the Vileplume here, but let me actually take another look. Vileplume, yeah, I'm not really feeling Vileplume with two fire types and a Roserade. So I'm going to go with Conk here. I think Conk's got enough power. The Mimikyu is appealing, but I'm going to rock with that because he does have two fire types. So we've got Indeedee, Hatterene, Conk, and Torkoal. So let's try that out and see how our first match goes here. Our objective is to get that Trick Room up, do some big damage. Our Psychic Surge is going to keep my opponent from using Fake Out if that Raichu has it. And we'll see how things go. My first ranked battle. Let's do it. See how it goes. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to do ranked. I'm excited to do VGC. I've been talking a lot on my streams about how I'm going to be committing to VGC this year to, at least for the next few weeks, to commit and kind of see how it goes. So, what's up? Canad for the 100 bits says, hey, YouTube. What's up, Canad? Okay, so this is a pretty good situation for me. Intimidate's going to lower our attack stat, but not really an issue for us because we are special attackers. My objective here is exactly what you would think it's going to be. I'm going to go for Follow Me on my Indeedee and direct any attacks at Hatterene towards my Indeedee, so my opponent is going to be unable to attack my Hatterene here. I do have the Focus Sash to ensure that I can live any hits, but I'm thinking we're probably going to change that at some point. Let's go for that nice Follow Me Trick Room strategy here and get the speed reversed right away. Thank you, Seb, for the 20 bits. And we'll see what my opponent's going to do here. That Whiscash could be Dragon Dance, so let's keep an eye on that. But he's actually going to go for a Bite with his Arcanine here into our Indeedee, do some solid damage there, and we're going to see a Muddy Water, which is going to target both Pokemon. Misses the Hatterene. Not exactly sure why my opponent is using Bite, but this is our first battle, so you kind of just have to go with it. We're going to lose some accuracy here, and we'll get our Trick Room up, and Hatterene is going to be in a really good spot to do some damage, baby. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go for Follow Me again and kind of redirect those attacks. And to me, I think the biggest threat on the field right now is that Whiscash. So I'm going to just knock that thing out because I don't really care about Bite. I don't really want to get muddied watered, so I'm going to just go for the Dynamax Psychic type attack into the Whiscash. And again, this is our first game, so you kind of have to keep in mind that, you know, we're just getting started here, so the ladder is going to be a little bit weaker at the beginning. But that's okay. You never want to take anything for you never want to take, you know, underestimate your opponent. You never want to do that because you could put yourself in a tough spot. So you don't want to do that. So. Alright, so we're going to see the same strategy there. I'm trying to make it so the Hatterene is in front of Conkle there. There you go. Alright, so we're going to one-shot the Whiscash, which is very nice. And the Whiscash goes down, and now we just have the Arcanine left. And Arcanine is going to go for Bite once again into our Indeedee, and we're going to probably leave that on just a sliver of health, which is very nice. And we'll see what my opponent's going to do next. So we got a good start there. We were able to effectively get up our Trick Room, and then we were able to do some very big damage there to eliminate one of my opponent's Pokemon. Here comes the Raichu, and again, because of Psychic Terrain, my opponent can actually not do much there. So we're going to just do the same thing. We're going to follow me, and I'm going to Max Mindstorm into Arcanine and try to get rid of that. Thank you, Secret says, whoop whoop, hype for VGC. I'm glad to hear it, Secret. Thank you for the 5 months. So, my opponent is not going to fake out, it looks like. Or maybe he is going to fake out, I don't know, let's see. Extreme Speed into Indeedee, but because of the Psychic Terrain, priority moves do not work, and my opponent did not know that. But we're going to knock out the Arcanine either way, so that's fine for me. My Hatterene continues to put in the work, and the Raichu is going to go for Thunder and hit it into the Indeedee. So, pretty powerful attack there. Indeedee is going to finally go down after doing quite a bit of work there. Can't be too upset about that. And we're going to go right into our Torkoal here. We should be able to wrap this up pretty easily here with a nice Eruption because we still have, you know, Trick Room up. And we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is, and it is Cinderace. Not too big of an issue. My Torkoal should be good here. So what we're going to do is we're going to Eruption, and then we are going to Max Mindstorm into the Cinderace. So we'll go for Eruption. We are at full health, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we will Max Mindstorm into the Cinderace. The Eruption should knock out the Raichu, and the combination of Eruption plus Max Mindstorm will knock out the Cinderace if my opponent does not go for Protect here. Even a Dynamax Cinderace will not live this attack. And with the Sun Up, I'm not really concerned about the Raichu really doing a ton. So my opponent is going to indeed go for the Dynamax on their Cinderace. Again, I'm not really super concerned about this being a problem for me because the Cinderace is not going to live an Eruption plus the Max Mindstorm. So being able to attack it with both of those attacks should put us in a really good spot right now to knock out both Pokemon. My Torkoal is carrying the Charcoal, which is going to boost our Fire-type moves by 20%. In VGC, you can only have one of each item on your Pokemon, so I don't want to have choice specs, even though that would be really strong. I'm going to probably run some calcs, though, and see what makes a lot of sense on this, but Charcoal was a good kind of starting point just to boost those fire moves, because generally, we're going to be using Eruption on our Torkoal more than any other move. Solar Beam is there for the occasional Gastrodon and maybe Rotom wash, but generally, we're going to be clicking Eruption anyway, so nice little easy victory there to start off on the ladder, so I'll always take that. Our first victory here in VGC Ranked, not too shabby. My opponent was clearly pretty new to the format, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully they will continue to learn and, you know, keep on keeping on, right? You want to keep on battling. So my opponent has a very powerful team here and that I'm very familiar with. This is actually Wolf Glick's team. Wolf Glick is using this team right now, and the main strategy is Whimsicott uses Beat Up on the Lucario to max out its attack stat. Alternatively, Braviary and Dracovish combined. So this is a really good opportunity for me to run Trick Room once again. I do have to deal with the potential Prankster on the, what is it called? Grimmsnarl, which could be a bit annoying, but I think we can work around that. I am liking, what am I liking here? I'm liking Conk. Do I like Conk or do I like Vileplume more in Sun? Mimikyu looks okay here. I think I like Conk more because I think the priority is going to be really good. I don't think we're going to... I think Trick Room is going to be our key here, so I'm going to go with Conk. And we're going to rock with that. Let's see what my opponent is going to do here. My assumption is they're going to lead Whimsicott, Lucario, or Braviary and Dracovish. That would be my guess. So let's see what my opponent is going to do. My opponent is going to lead Whimsicott, Lucario. Their strategy here is to go for Beat Up into the Lucario. Lucario's Justified ability allows it to get an attack boost every time that happens. Luckily for me, I can use Indeedee's Follow Me to ensure that I can effectively get my Trick Room up, and with Trick Room, we're going to be in an okay spot. So we're going to just go for Follow Me here, and we're going to go for Trick Room. And that's going to allow us, again, to be able to take these hits. My assumption here is my opponent goes for Beat Up into their own Lucario, boosts their attack a few stages, Dynamaxes their Lucario, and goes for a Max Steel Spike into my Indeedee, which will live the hit on its Focus Sash and be allowed to go for Helping Hand on the following turn. So let's see what's going to happen here. My opponent is going... Well, my Follow Me is going to activate first, which is going to force that Lucario to attack my Indeedee. And then the Whimsicott would likely attack next and go for Beat Up. And it is indeed going to do that. But my opponent actually goes into my Indeedee here with the Beat Up, as opposed to going into the own Lucario, which I'm finding very surprising there. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or if that was on purpose, but it's going to do very little damage to my Indeedee. And the Lucario is going to go for the Max Steel Spike and maybe try to knock out my Indeedee too. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to actually live that hit. So, oh, Follow Me. Oh, okay. So chat reminded me that Follow Me actually forced the Lucario into attacking, or the Whimsicott attacking my Indeedee. I forgot about that. So I guess this strategy kind of ruins that strategy. Okay, so now our plan here is one of two things. We can, again, Follow Me, which I think is really cool here. And I'm going to Dynamax, and I think I'm going to go for the Max Mindstorm into the Lucario here. By doing this, I think we can effectively eliminate the Lucario from the field. And the Whimsicott, to me, at this moment, is not a huge threat, especially if Lucario goes down. So we'll have to see. I forgot that Follow Me was going to redirect the Whimsicott. I'm rusty. Don't mind me. So let's see what my opponent does here. That was actually pretty solid. I totally forgot. So my strategy was the same. If he had attacked the Lucario instead of my own Indeedee, it didn't really matter. So it's all good. All right, so let's see if this Max Mindstorm is able to knock out the Lucario if it does indeed stay in here, or not max guard. So he is gonna max guard. So my opponent is gonna try to stall out some turns of Tailwind here, or Trick Room. I'm sorry. We're gonna Follow Me, and if my Indeedee goes down, it just gets my Torkoal in. So it's not really a big deal. This is going to do a good amount of damage either way. Or does it not go through that? Okay, so if you're a Dynamax, then you don't actually take damage with the Max Mindstorm. Just kidding. So Dynamaxing attacks goes through Protect, but it doesn't go through Max Guard. So now we learn that. And we're going to go into... I think Torkoal is really good here. Let's go into Torkoal right now. And let's see what we got here. Let's go for the Eruption now. Eruption is going to put us in a really good spot. So we're going to just go for Eruption. And I'm going to go for the Max Mindstorm into the Lucario. But it should get redirected into Whimsicott because Torkoal is going to be faster. So if the Lucario lives the Eruption, then our attack will go after the Whimsicott, which is carrying Focus Sash. I know that it's carrying Focus Sash because I'm familiar with this team. So either way, though, we should be able to net a double KO. Unless my opponent pulls some switches here. What's up, Ozzy? How's it going, man? So let's see what's going to happen. Thank you again, Secret, for the 5 months. Be sure to hit that follow button if you guys are new here on Twitch. And let's see here. Eruption is going to do a lot of damage, though. Eruption is going to do a lot of damage. Focus Sash allows you to live 1 hit on 1 HP. But, like I said, the Eruption should knock out the Lucario. But my opponent is going to switch out his Lucario. So, perhaps I should have targeted the Whimsicott instead. It's probably going to be the Dracovish. Let's see here. It is going to be the Grimmsnarl. That is a good play on my opponent's part because now my attack won't actually hit the Grimmsnarl. So I should have used a different attack. So, mistakes on my part there. Kind of lessons learned. But we're going to do a lot of damage either way, and our next Eruption will do the knockouts that we need. So Max Mindstorm doesn't work because I attacked the Grimmsnarl, so that was a mistake. But we're going to learn from these mistakes. Let's see how many turns of Trick Room we have left. I think it's good to note. You hit the plus sign. Wait, how do I do this again? Y for info. I have 2 turns of Trick Room left, so my opponent may go for some sort of Protect shenanigans here. We're going to go for Eruption, and then I'm going to go for the the max Starfall, I think, this time into the Grimmsnarl. So he's set up Tailwind because he's waiting for my Trick Room to end. That's my opponent's strategy right now. He's trying to set himself up for when Trick Room ends, but we're in a really offensive position because I still have 2 turns of Trick Room left. So let's see how this goes. My Hatterene looks like it's taking a nap right now, so I've made a few very big misplays right now. The big one was not factoring in the Grimmsnarl, but let's see. My opponent is going to go for Light Screen, which is going to protect him from special attacks, but I'm going to pick up a double KO here. So Eruption's going to come off. It's going to pick up the double KO, even with the Light Screen. So we effectively eliminate both opponents. So now my opponent has a Lucario, which has already used its Dynamax, and he's got Tailwind up, which could be really good for my opponent in a little bit, but at this moment, not very effective. So I'm going to assume that my opponent is definitely going to... So here comes the Dracovish. So my opponent is definitely going to protect his Lucario here. But I don't think Dracovish can protect itself, because the standard Dracovish on this team actually carries Choice Band. So I don't believe my opponent can actually do that. So what I'm going to do here, I still have my Conch, which is very good for Lucario. I'm going to actually go for the Eruption still. And then I'm going to attack the Dracovish with Psychic. Although Dazzling Gleam could also be good. But I think Psychic is probably our best bet. Do I still have Psychic Terrain? Still got to remember these button pushes. I still have Psychic Terrain. Yeah, so we're going to Psychic into the Dracovish. And I'm going to assume that Psychic plus... actually, let's Solar Beam it. That'll do a little bit more damage, I think. And then we'll Psychic into it. I would assume that those 2 attacks should be able to knock out the Dracovish. So I predicted the Protect on the Lucario, and I'm assuming the Dracovish has no way to protect itself because it's Choice Banded. Again, I know this team since it's Wolf's team. So Solar Beam should do like 30, 40, 50%. Yeah, about the 35, and then the Psychic should pick it off here, I would imagine. And it does. So now my opponent is left with the Lucario. Now the good thing for my opponent is my Trick Room and my Psychic Terrain has ended. The bad thing for my opponent is he does not have the ability to knock out both my Torkoal and my Hatterene at the same time. And they've already used their Dynamaxing. So I'm going to go for the Heat Wave here. And I'm going to also go for the, I guess we can Mystical Fire for the fun. Actually, we'll Trick Room, I think. We'll Trick Room again. My opponent likely goes for... Oh, he's going to actually Close Combat Torkoal, which is going to eat this hit no problem. And we're going to secure a nice W here. Pretty easily. Because my opponent just simply can't handle this offensive onslaught. I actually miss, which is kind of funny. And I get my Trick Room up. So, Heat Wave miss. I was going to Eruption, so we didn't miss. But I figured Heat Wave was the safer bet. And we're going to seal this deal now. We're going to Eruption this time. And we are going to hit it with a Mystical Fire this time. And that should be it. Mystical Fire does have Sun Boost right now, so it is going to be really strong. My opponent is going to forfeit the match, and we're going to pick up a W there. So we're going to move to 2-0, which is a nice start for our ranked series here. That was a little bit of a tougher match. That's a pretty standard team right now. Obviously, Wolf is very popular for double battles, or, you know, he's obviously a very good trainer. So we can see this team here, which again, the Shuka Berry, the Citrus Berry, the Light Clay Grimmsnarl, and the Focus Sash Whimsicott. So that was indeed the team that we anticipated it to be. So we're going to keep going. We'll get another battle here. Let's see what my opponent here is rocking. We got Alfredo. Let's see what Alfredo's got for us here. So he's got a Dragapult, a Grimmsnarl, a Rotom, a Hitmonlee, a Xatu, and a Duraludon. Now, Duraludon is one of the few Pokemon that can actually stop our Trick Room strategy pretty effectively here. So you have to be very mindful there. I could just go for the Trick Room strategy, but I'm actually going to try to mix it up and see if we can win this game without doing that. So I'm going to lead Torkoal Vileplume here first. I'm going to bring Conkeldurr in the back, and I'm going to bring... I think we're going to probably bring Mimikyu, because Mimikyu actually looks decent here too. So let's bring Mimikyu as well. So we're going to completely change up our strategy here and bring our secondary version of this team and see how it works. Why can he stop Trick Room? Duraludon's Stalwart ability is very good at stopping Trick Room because Duraludon can go all out into your... it can ignore Follow Me from Indeedee and go all out into the Hatterene and knock it out with a really powerful attack. It was like Choice Specs or something. So So let's see what my opponent's got. He's going to lead Duraludon and Dragapult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the after you... do I want to go for the after you eruption here? Is that what I want to do? It's not going to knock out the Dragapult, and it probably won't knock out the Duraludon either. Let's see here. Torkoal. I'm going to run a quick calc. I'm actually curious. It might. It might knock it out. We'll give it a shot. Let's try it out. We're testing things out here. So we're going to go for Eruption. And we are going to go for After You on our Torkoal. And see how this goes. This may work really well, or it's going to not work very well. But we'll find out right now. This is why we're testing. So that allows my Torkoal to actually be faster and go for Eruption here. And this is going to do a lot of damage. And it doesn't quite pick up the KOs we were looking for. But it did a lot of damage, so we can't be too upset about that. Let's see what this Duraludon's going to do. He's going to go for Snarl and lower our special attacks. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is... I think I'm going to Heat Wave. Do I want to Heat Wave? What do I want to do here? I want to attack the... Let me think about this. I don't want to Eruption here. I mean, I could after you Eruption, but I'm not going to hit the Dragapult anyway. So I think I want to Heat Wave here. And I think I'm going to Dynamax this time. Or I can Sleep Powder Duraludon, but I kind of want to Dynamax. No, let's Heat Wave. And let's go for the Dynamax. Let's just go for the Sludge Bomb, I think, in a Dragapult. How do I feel about that? I feel okay about that. Let's try that. I don't want to Protect here, guys, because the, Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so I'm an idiot. Ignore me. Pretend that you never saw that move, because that was a really stupid play. I'm an idiot. We're dumb. We're making bad plays. We're making such bad plays, team. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. Gotta pay more attention. Alright, well, we're gonna get the Heat Wave off. We do pick up the KO on the Duraludon. I forgot completely that I was gonna be faster than the Dragapult there, which was very dumb, but whatever. It is what it is. Live and learn. Alright, here comes Grimmsnarl. Now, this is probably gonna have Prankster screens of some sort here. Alright, what do I wanna do? Probably gonna Heat Wave again. Yeah, let's Heat Wave. And let us go for the Dynamax. Max Ooze into Dragapult. Try to get rid of it. The Grimmsnarl is going to set up a screen anyway, so... I want to get rid of the Dragapult. Do I want to get rid... No. You know what? I'm gonna go for the Dynamax. Max Ooze into the Grimmsnarl, I think. I can deal with the Dragapult later. Now I'm gonna get a special attack boost by doing this. I maybe should have saved my Dynamax for the Conk, but let's see how this goes. I've already made some really bad plays in this matchup, and that's on me. But live and learn, man. It's been like 2 years, so here comes the Fake Out. So that's gonna stop me, but it doesn't actually work because I have the Dynamaxing, which is very nice. So I get some nice damage off there on the Grimmsnarl, and I will get a special attack boost. Allow me to hit the Grimmsnarl a little bit harder on the next turn. And Torkoal gets a special attack boost as well, so if he doesn't actually knock me out, we're going to be able to do more. Here comes the Dragon Claw into the Torkoal, and he does knock me out. So at this point, I'm going to go into my Mimikyu. And we're going to do the same. We're going to actually Shadow Sneak. Let's take a look at how many turns left I have of Trick Room first. I have, or Sunlight, I mean, 2 turns left. Okay, so I'm going to Shadow Sneak into the Dragapult here and try to knock that out. And I am going to Max Ooze into the Grimmsnarl here and see how that goes. Shadow Sneak's going to come off. We're going to pick up the KO on the Dragapult. And my Vileplume should be faster than the Grimmsnarl here. He's gonna go for a Sucker Punch into my Vileplume, so big damage there. Firefox, thanks for the sub love, and this should pick up the KO on the Grimmsnarl. And it does, because of the boost that we had gotten on the previous turn. Thank you, Firefox, for the sub, man. Thank you, Raggy Shaggy, for the prime as well. Okay, so my opponent has 1 Pokemon left against my 3, I think. Because we got rid of the Duraludon, the Grimmsnarl, and the Dragapult, so we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. It might be Rotom. It is going to be Rotom. So my best strategy here is actually to Trick Room with my Mimikyu. That's going to allow my Conkeldurr to be the fastest thing on the field next turn, and I'm going to just max Overgrowth into the Rotom here. So we made some really bad plays, but I was able to bring it back at this point. It's not over yet, but I don't know if Rotom is able to beat Conkeldurr plus Mimikyu plus Vileplume at this point, because even if the Rotom protects right now, it's going to be in a bad spot, and I'm going to guarantee my my Trick Room right now, and Conkeldurr is going to be able to fire off some really, really powerful Drain Punches. So I'm going to get off a Solar Beam essentially here, or a max, you know, grass attack. I just don't see how Rotom, because Rotom has to hit my Mimikyu twice at this point, has to still beat my Vileplume, and we're going to get the max Overgrowth off here, and that's going to do a good amount of damage. It's just going to knock out the Rotom. So we're going to pick up a W. So, again, some pretty bad plays. I still got to get used to VGC again. Thank you, Raggy. Thank you, Firefox. Thank you, Firebomb, for the 25 months. Appreciate the love. But I was glad that we were able to get this match in to kind of showcase how this team can function in 2 different ways, right? And I made a lot of bad plays in this match, right? So it's important to reflect on your wins and your losses. I'm actually kind of embarrassed on the plays I made. But I'm going to leave it in the video because I want you guys to see the full kind of context here of how this all works, right? I got a rare candy, which is kind of cool. Let's take a look at that. So my opponent was Assault Vest Duraludon, which is why he actually lived the whatchamacallit attack. That's kind of a cool set. King's Rock, Flinching Dragapult. Black Glasses Grimmsnarl with Fake Out, Darkest Lariat, Sucker Punch, Spirit Break. The Rotom apparently didn't have an item. I'm not really sure what's up with that. And the Hitmonlee apparently didn't have an item, and the Xatu. So maybe my opponent wasn't finished with their team. I don't know why this is a Brave Xatu, but it might have had a Mint. I'm not sure. So it seemed like my opponent had a pretty solid team, but maybe still pretty new here. So let's snag one more and see how that goes. All right, my opponent has Charizard, Whimsicott. Oh, so my opponent actually has a Sun team. I like my Trick Room here quite a bit, though. So I'm going to use Indeedee, and I am going to use Hatterene. I'm going to bring Torkoal, and I am going to probably... My opponent is very Sun-oriented. I'm thinking I want Conk or Vileplume, but I'm thinking Conk here. I think I'm going to go Conkeldurr, because Conkeldurr can do a lot of damage in Trick Room. So if we execute these first few turns correctly, our Hatterene should be primed to do a lot of damage in this match. And that's what this team really is built around. I'm glad we got to showcase the other kind of matchup where I used Torkoal Vileplume, but the main focus of this team is to use Hatterene and Indeedee. Let's see what we got here. We've got Charizard and Ninetales. Fine by me. The Ninetales is going to set up Drought most likely. Yep. And the Charizard is going to try to take advantage of that with Solar Power, I would imagine. He's going to boost the special attack stat of the Charizard. So, one thing here that could go poorly for me is if my opponent goes for a Solar Beam, my opponent can actually change the terrain on me, which is going to reduce the power of my attacks. But let's go for our same strategy here, Trick Room and Follow Me. I am a little concerned that my opponent is going to go for Solar Beam, though. Because Solar Beam, again, will change the terrain and kind of force me to do something different. It may force me to switch into my Torkoal. But here comes the Heat Wave, which is going to attack both targets. We'll see. Oh, boy, that's actually going to really mess us up. The crit there. And a Mystical Fire. So we got really lucky my opponent didn't double Heat Wave. Because if my opponent double Heat Wave, then I wasn't able to get up this Trick Room, I would have probably lost the game right there. So we get our Trick Room up. That's the good news. And we're going to go right into Conkeldurr here, because I think Torkoal is good, but Conkeldurr is going to be able to hit harder. So we're going to make sure we can get rid of this Charizard now. That's going to be our objective. So let us go for the Drain Punch into... Should I double the Charizard? I'm really worried about the Charizard more than anything. It's gonna definitely max. This is not how I wanted this to go by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna probably Ice Punch the Charizard and then attack. We'll Drain Punch the Charizard just in case it lives, and I'll Dynamax, Max Mindstorm into the Charizard here, I think. I mean, we're gonna one-shot the Charizard if it doesn't Dynamax. But because the sun's up, my opponent's gonna do a ton of damage to my Hatterene, which is gonna be really tough for us to work around. I mean, I have Conk on the field, which is great. I'm gonna get a little HP buff there, which is good. That might allow us to live that Mystical Fire, but let's see what my opponent does here. My opponent is indeed going to Dynamax the Charizard here. So, we'll see how much this takes. I mean, it's gonna take a lot of damage, but I don't know if we're gonna knock it out. If I don't knock this thing out right now, we're probably gonna lose this match. So, let's see. I mean, this is gonna be a really hard-hitting attack, though. It's gonna do a lot of damage. What's up, Goo? Thanks for the 40 months. And I'm gonna be just shy. Let's see if Conk can pick it up. We're gonna be just shy, I think. Oh! I should have Ice Punched, team. I should have Ice Punched. Hatterene takes the hit, but here comes the Max move. Max Airstream into Conk. And that is gonna be it for Conkeldurr, and I did not Ice Punch when I should have. That is going to be a struggle, team. That is going to be a struggle. We're not out of it yet, but we're running out of turns here because Trick Room is only going to last for so long. So we're going to go Torkoal. Not how I wanted this to go, but it is what it is. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to Eruption here, and we are going to Max Mindstorm into the Ninetales this time. Let's see how this goes. It's not over yet, but definitely not the best position we want to be in here. Ah, Quick Attack. But Psychic Terrain comes in handy here. The Eruption comes off. It's going to do big damage, and we're going to knock out both Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field because they forgot about Psychic Terrain, and we're right back in it. We're right back in it, team. So, hindsight, should have used Ice Punch instead of Drain Punch on Conk on the Charizard. I had a feeling it was going to live on just a sliver there. It may cost us this match, but we still have a chance. We still have a chance. The Quick Attack doesn't actually matter there. Whether my opponent Quick Attacks or not, we still get the double KO. So here comes the Arcanine, which will hopefully be Intimidate and not Flash Fire, and here comes a Leafeon. It's Flash Fire. So what I have to do now is I'm going to just Eruption, and I am going to Max Mindstorm into the Arcanine. If my opponent does not have Protect, we win the game at this turn, I think. If my opponent has Protect, then we might lose the game, basically. Because I can't hit the Arcanine, because I'm pretty sure it's Flash Fire. There's the Protect. It's on the Leafeon. Eruption's going to save. The Arcanine's going to activate the Flash Fire, I believe. No, he does not have Flash Fire. So we're going to get some damage off there, and we're going to get the Max Mindstorm off as well. And we're going to eliminate the Arcanine here, and now is just a Leafeon against a full health Torkoal. And we're going to come back in the match despite a very rough first few turns. Oh my goodness. Justified Arcanine. And I have one turn left of Trick Room to seal the deal here. So we are going to Eruption. And we are going to Psychic. Actually, Mystical Fire. Wait, can Mystical Fire miss? No. Then we're going to Mystical Fire into the Leafeon. My opponent has to double protect, but even with the double protect, he would have to bank on like 3 Heat Wave misses. But Eruption's going to come off here. It is going to deal the damage to Leafeon. We're going to seal the deal and pick up another W. So, less than perfect play from me once again. But we got to get more comfortable with the team. So, I'll take that, man. I'll take those wins there. And we moved to 4-0 in ranked. I got to get a little bit more comfortable with this team. But I feel like it's got some potential, man. I definitely do. So, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching our first episode of Road to Master Ranked. I apologize for all the mistakes, but I promise you we have a long way to go, but we will get there. We will get there. Thank you so much, and keep an eye out for our Road to Regional series as well, featuring some of the top VGC players who are going to teach me and you guys how to play VGC a lot better than how I just played, but we'll get more comfortable with the team, and we'll jump back into it on the next episode. Peace.